Alrighty, welcome back everyone. Today is March 12th. (2026). Alrighty, and we are on day 6. We've really made it to day 6. Alrighty, we've managed to stop smoking. Stop gaming. Get a 6-pack. Alrighty. 6 out of 7 days. So, from March 6th, which was day 0, in the evening, I decided I was going to do this. We've made it 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6 days without smoking, without picking up the bong, without picking up a joint, without rolling. We managed to go 6 days without turning on our game, PlayStation here. 6 days in a row, we've been learning and focusing on getting a 6-pack. I will admit, I haven't done the best progress I could have, so we're actually going to be discussing this more. I'm going to talk more about this right here. Then, get a motorcycle. Day 6 out of 7, so we actually got the gloves in the mail, and I'll make sure to show those to you guys here in a little bit. So, here, just detailing my attitudes and thoughts towards smoking so far. I've actually had quite a few urges to smoke, and how I've managed to how I've managed to kind of like avoid these two from totally taking over my mentality is I used to have a FOMO, or fear of missing out, when it would come to sitting down and playing my game and smoking. But now it's kind of shifted, where I have a FOMO of these two. Okay, so when it comes to getting a 6-pack and getting a motorcycle, I've actually had a fear of missing out on those two things, because now I've recognized, okay, I used to have a fear of missing out about having time to play my game, having time to smoke. But now, since I've subtracted these things from my life, and I haven't been focusing on them as much and haven't been doing them at all, I've managed to open up my bandwidth. So now I'm focusing on these two. And whenever I think about how much time and energy and focus it takes to do these two things, I recognize I can't put that time and energy and focus towards these two things. And so that is kind of like exemplified that feeling of FOMO, or fear of missing out. And so we decided to kind of like break off into this one right here of getting a 6-pack and doing something called 75 hard, which I actually failed day 1. Okay, we're gonna actually, if you guys want to see that, I'm actually dropping the video right after this one, detailing how I failed 75 hard on day 1. Today was day 1. I decided day 0 was gonna start, but day 1 came today, and I actually failed for quite a few reasons, some in my control and some out of my control. So definitely be detailing that in my video further on, and this really ties into getting a 6-pack. But getting a motorcycle, I got my gloves. I'm really excited to show these to you guys. Alrighty. So this is my first piece of motorcycle gear that I've managed to buy. In which these are some gauntlet style riding gloves. I don't know if I should return them or not because they don't really fit the best, but they actually fit pretty good. So kind of slide them on like that, and then you take this cinch, you tighten it over, then you take this part, put it over as much as you want, and you take this and do the rest of the way. And then you have it. I'm gonna go and put this other one here so you can get a good idea of how these fit me. So here we are. This is how they look when I'm wearing them. Can imagine myself riding already. So these were about 75 bucks with everything, and I really like them because they got the pinky tether right here. So if you fall and you put your hand out, your pinky isn't going all the way, because usually when you fall, you stretch your hand out as much as you can. This kind of keeps it a little bit more together, so your pinky won't get ripped off. That does happen. And a palm slider right here, so when you put your hands down while you're sliding, definitely got something to ride on. You're not pushing your skin against the concrete. That would be a nightmare. Then we got some nice knuckle protection here, and it looks like right here we got some vents as well, and it comes with these little micro leather kind of like touchscreen bits right here, so you can touch your phone and whatnot while you're working and riding. So I actually think that these are good. I really want to like these. The only thing I'm having a problem with is they don't kind of fit my fingers. See, they fit perfectly around perfectly. I mean, really, I couldn't ask for a better fit. And they fit perfectly in the thumb box as well. But where they don't really fit is the pinky, ring finger, middle finger, and index finger. They got like just a little bit too much room. I don't even think it's a big deal. I think that after a while it'll kind of, I'm going to ask a couple people, see what other people think about it, and make a judgment. Because I could return them and get like the large size, because these are the extra large. But I think that if I get the large size, it's going to be too small, because it's already kind of snug around the hand box and feels good. I mean, really, the only thing I'm really worried about is like getting a false grip on a clutch or getting a false grip on the brakes and doing like a misinput. So maybe if I'm able to kind of crunch the leather here a little bit back and keep it like that, then they actually do want to like fit really snug right up on my finger. But yeah, it's feeling pretty good. But yeah, this palm slider is like a really big thing, and the knuckle protection, these are pretty good. So with these out of the way, if I don't need to buy, since I technically don't need to buy gloves anymore, that's one thing out of the way. If these work, if people agree with me that little centimeter extra, it's literally like a centimeter of extra space is too much, then I might go ahead and just go ahead and get a different pair. But honestly, I think that they're going to work just fine. After I get used to them after a while, of course, I'll make sure to always have a sure grip of the clutch and brake levers, because that's really all I'm worried about. Like, of course, like grabbing onto the actual throttle bar, that's easy. But it's like when you're reaching with your two fingers to get a grip on the brakes or get a grip on the clutch, that you might have some issues. Like that little bit might flip right over. So I'm actually really excited about that. So yeah, got the gloves. Now I just need really like definitely next in the pipeline is helmet. I'm thinking I'll get one next week or the week after. So we got the gloves, helmet's next for sure, then a jacket, pants, boots, and I mean that's wow. It's kind of crazy to think that once you do one thing, you're already on the way. I just need four more things, and say I spend 400, 100, 200. I'd probably be spending less than $700 to get some really high quality gear that will actually cover my ass in the case I fall off my bike. In which it's all about risk mitigation. Of course, when you fall off a motorcycle, you're gonna bust your ass. Just choose: do you want to have a cracked skull and hang and your scalp peeled off, or do you want to have a broken helmet? And I really think that's gruesome. I maybe shouldn't have said that, but I have heard a story in person about a young man who I was a server at a restaurant, and I was talking to this one guy telling him I want a bike, and he told me about how his son would ride Harleys without a helmet, and he fell off of his bike and totally peeled his head back, and it looked like hamburger. And yeah, he survived, but that's the thing, he survived, but now he has a huge scar on his head. He would have survived without a scar had he worn a helmet, had he worn some gear. So that's definitely why you want to wear some gear. Definitely looking forward to getting a bike, getting a six-pack, and I'm actually thinking, so since tomorrow is, let's flip this over here, since tomorrow, and we just finished day 6, since tomorrow is day 7, we'll be focusing on getting ourselves ready for closing the loop. And how I imagine that happening is I have decided that I would like to smoke, but I'm actually very conflicted about it, and that's why I'm really trying to do what I want. And figuring out what I want is, it's kind of like conflicting right now, because I know I want to stop smoking. I also know I want to smoke and enjoy that feeling and enjoy my game. Then we would be back at day 0. But maybe I shouldn't look at it like that. Maybe I should look at it like we've actually made some real progress, and now I have some tools. Tools to cope with these urges, because it used to be when I'd get the urge to smoke or get the urge to game, it would be irresistible. Not like in the way where I'd feel like unbearable, but would be in the way where life and all the events of life would be something to lead up to gaming and smoking. Everything was just floating around these two things in my life. Maybe I could get it the other way around. Wouldn't that be nice? Going to the gym, getting a six-pack, riding a motorcycle home. Maybe that could be a nice form of entertainment for me, and I'd not have to invest so much time and energy into focusing into that. Maybe I could too as well. I mean, imagine continue smoking, continue gaming, have a six-pack, have a motorcycle, have the best of both worlds. Right now I'm trying to find a nice balance. So, right now, definitely looking forward to getting closer to getting a six-pack and getting a motorcycle. Really need to get, because we got the gloves. We got them. We saw them. I think they're good enough. I think that little bit ain't too bad to work with. So we got the gloves. Now we need a helmet, jacket, pants, and boots. And then, after I have all the gear, then I'm actually going to start saving up and looking for a bike. I definitely want to get an R3 still. I feel like that'd be the best choice. I'm still doing research. Still doing research on that. Because I really want to make sure that I get a nice bike. See, I used to want an R7. I used to want an R7. And even before then, I wanted an R6. Well, they discontinued the R6. The R7 is a little too powerful for me, considering my skill level. And it took me a little bit of, had to bite my ego to reach the conclusion that an R3 is actually enough bike for me. I mean, I was on the highway tonight riding in my car, and here I am, pushing on the gas, 65. Oh, I'm going pretty fast. 80? I'm going pretty fast right now. I don't feel like going any faster. You know? The R3 tops out at 100 miles per hour. So, I mean, I'm not really trying to be a speed racer in my first season. So, and I plan on having a nice bike like that for a while. So, I think having an R3 is actually a good choice to have. So, we're definitely making some progress. Definitely made a lot of progress actually since day 0. And this is something that I've always wanted to do for myself all year long. And it took me looking at my birthday, which is coming up very soon, to really realize, man, I'm going to be 23. Okay, I'm actually 22 right now. I'm going to be turning 23. And when I turn 23, how am I going to feel about my 22nd year of life? Did I make the right choices? Did I pursue what I wanted? Did I actually ask that of myself and perceive it and pursue it fearlessly? Because FOMO, fear of missing out. Okay, had FOMO for smoking, FOMO for gaming, and now I'm really recognizing my FOMO for having a 6-pack and my FOMO for having a motorcycle. And because of those, I'm able to not focus so much on these two. So, definitely making some more progress than I thought I really would. And at this rate, I'm gonna have everything I want by May, because my real goal is through March, prepare. And then, if we made this much progress and it's only been 1 week, if I just manage to cut this shit out for another week and just focus on getting a helmet, getting jacket, boots, and gloves, I mean, by next week I could have all this shit. And then that leaves me, seriously, like, let's look at it. Okay? So, tomorrow's day 7, okay? And if I were to, complete day 7, and then day 0, like a new day 0, would be day 14, then I could, then 7, like a new 7-day challenge would be ending a day after my birthday here on March 21st. So, I'm really looking forward to that. Yeah, I feel like it might not be possible, but it's definitely impossible if I stick my face in a bong, stick my face in a game. So thank you guys very much for tagging along. We actually just reached 10 subscribers. I mean, I know that kind of sounds cheesy, but you know, since I decided to do this and start posting content, I mean, I just kind of had the idea and turned my phone on, sit on bed, and now I'm starting to invest in myself and invest in creating more content and worthwhile content. And this is going to be a good time. I feel like it's not going to be too long before all of this becomes true, and I'm on to new goals and new dreams. So thank you guys very much for tagging along, and make sure to subscribe, like my video, and drop a comment below with any questions or recommendations for myself. I really appreciate it. Thank you guys very much for watching. You guys have a wonderful day.